So cricket.
Cricket.
I think a lot of people think cricket's quite boring.
I had an ex-girlfriend who used to like the idea of me telling her about cricket in order to send her to sleep, which was great for me because it meant I got to talk about cricket and I would go into massive detail. The sort of the intricacies of the different finger grips for different ways of bowling.
Boring. The jargon of cricket like puts another barrier in the way. So someone's like, no, it's not boring. You just have to think about how many runs they score each over. Boring. What's an over? Oh, well, it's boring. But anyway, they stand at this place called Silly Point, and like, I think all the jargon gets boring as well.
Wickets are 3 different things in cricket.
Boring.
It's either sort of the stumps at the end, or it's the pitch that you're bowling on, or it's
boring.
Which, once you know cricket, doesn't seem confusing at all.
You get it from the context, but I don't know cricket.
It's just fucking
not boring.
Rubbish.
Not boring.
Rubbish.
Not boring. Rubbish. Yeah.
I really like the thing they've brought it into test matches now, but the way the Indian league, they have the flashing wickets.
Not boring.
So it's like, it's still the same boring thing. The thing that doesn't happen very often happens. You're treated to a couple of flashing lights. You drink. Cheer
boring.
Cheer a bit, maybe. Like, if you feel like
boring.
You can support one of the teams if you like.
Boring.
It's boring. Like, yeah.
I really secretly enjoy the feeling of oh, there's been
boring thing
or what have you, or this team started doing really badly. I think it's just
boring.
It's somewhat, or it seems inevitable to the point where if there's an England batting collapse, people will be online. It's like, guys,
it's boring.
The England batting collapse, it always happens. There could have been not one for 3 years.
Boring.
Yeah, always
boring.
Well, it's like the British summertime in that sense. But the perception is as soon as anything goes ever so slightly wrong, it's just
boring.
It's quite good to suddenly realising, oh, he's a cricket person,
boring.
And that's what you have to tell people, though, don't you? Who are
cricket's boring.
Cricket's boring. Cricket's boring.
Cricket's boring.
And you want to say, yeah, that's kind of the point. The tap of the bat as the bowler is running up, and that sort of 3 or 4 seconds before the ball is delivered is really, really boring. I like that a lot.
Especially when you're listening to it on the radio.
And you hear that little rhythm of it's boring. Of whoever's calling the game at that point in time is always
boring.
Name of the bowler in bowls, Smith, boring. Really very boring. And quite comforting, I think, to have on, even regardless of who's playing or whatever.
I don't know if people do that in other sports, but it's really
boring.
Went to watch this absolutely
turgid
county match, Sussex turgid. What's it?
Turgid.
Sussex Gloucestershire. Turgid. Turgid. And we had the day off work. It was turgid. We started drinking early. We were in the stadium. The whole stadium was cleared out. We were still chatting away about whatever it was.
Boring.
Just sort of turgid, as hand carts. Just sort of turned to, oh, is the match finished? Yeah.
Boring.
Some other bloke who's just sort of walking out, who won? And he's like, oh, I don't know.
I have touched Sachin Tendulkar.
Whoa.
I have touched Sachin Tendulkar.
Whoa. I have touched Sachin Tendulkar.
Whoa.
I have touched Sachin Tendulkar.
Whoa.
I have touched Sachin Tendulkar.
Whoa.
I have touched Sachin Tendulkar.
Whoa.
I have touched Sachin Tendulkar.
Whoa.
I have touched Sachin Tendulkar. Whoa.
If you are side off and you're watching fast bowling, I mean, you don't see it.
Boring.
You don't see the ball at any point. It's too fast for any of that.
Boring.
Have you ever come across a cricket fan that was genuinely a cunt? I've met very few women who do cricket, which is a whole different problem. But mostly people who like cricket are alright, I reckon.
Boring.
There are certainly cricket players who I think are
I think it's interesting that even mates of mine who are not sporty like boring. Cricket is the kind of boring edge case for a lot of them as well. Like even people who are boring,
Turgid.
who have totally never really been into sport, or be like cricket is the thing that I can sort of vaguely tempt them into talking about or thinking about sometimes. Not boring if I want to. Not boring.
Turgid.